What's up, YouTube? Welcome to another exciting video. Today's video, I'm going to be talking about what if central banks lose control of inflation. Quick disclaimer, I'm not a financial advisor, so please do your own research before doing anything like buying gold and silver, pursuing any of the investment strategies or stocks that I discuss on the channel. It's for entertainment purposes only. Do your own research, get a financial advisor. All right, yeah. So today we got an inflation print. Prices rose 0.1% in August, and that sent the market into a tailspin. The big reason, of course, is because energy prices have come down quite substantially from their peak, and other prices have come down. I think food and other commodities have really kind of come down as central banks around the world start to fight inflation. Um, anyway, today's print, even though it's up only 0.1%, that means the Fed's going to probably stick to their guns and they're going to keep tightening. So that caused the market to take a deep dive. I think that Dow, as I speak now, it's about 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's probably down almost 800 points. Gold is down 25-30 bucks. Silver, I imagine, is down too. It's just kind of across the board. It's a little bit of a down day, depending on what you're into. I have been watching the gold miners because I'm looking to buy some more Newmont, and they're holding in pretty well. I mean, Newmont's around 57. That's Canadian dollars, so it's holding in. It's not. I'd like to try to buy some more around 54 bucks. I'm sure I'll get my chance. These. Um, it doesn't look like this fall is shaping up to be a really great fall and for investors in the stock market and whatnot. But I'm just basically still sticking to my plan, slowly accumulating some gold and silver, and kind of on the fence now. I'm looking to maybe pick up another ounce of gold. Um, but at the same time, I'm kind of taking a look at the stock market. I'm looking at these gold miners in particular, um, and I guess oil too. If oil gets cheap enough, if I see some down days, there's a few oil stocks I've been kind of looking at picking up again, and or adding to existing positions and stuff. So I've just been kind of I saw even Bitcoin. It was down to, I don't know, 18,000 US just a few days ago, and I was been meaning to pick up, another $100 worth of Bitcoin or something like that. And that's basically sort of what I've been doing. You know what? Like, we're if you're new to this channel, our situation now, we paid off our mortgage a couple months ago, so we're completely debt free, which is a fantastic feeling. Got a lot of cash on the sidelines. Um, and I was just kind of taking a look at my portfolio, and it's kind of like it's decent. Our overall financial picture, we're debt free. We have lots of cash. I'm estimating we probably got 30% cash easily across all of our accounts. Um, we have physical gold and silver, and our portfolio is essentially some index funds. Mainly my wife has the index funds, and my portfolio is essentially commodity stocks, oil, fertilizer, um, miners like gold, silver, copper miners, and stuff like that. And it's not like the oil stocks, and a lot of these commodity stocks I've owned for a while. There, it's not, I just jumped on the bandwagon last year as they started to hit all time highs. In fact, I was selling a lot of my oil as it was, you know, I bought a lot of oil stocks in the fall of 2020 when it was dirt cheap. Since then, they've gone up for at least 4x. At one point, it was almost 5x. So take your profits. The commodity game, as I saw, over the last 10, 15 years, it's a tough game. It's said that you take the stairs up and the elevator down. So you don't want to be caught overexposed when the commodity cycle ends abruptly or whatever. Um, So even with oil stocks and stuff like that, I'm still being extremely cautious. I have basically, I guess, I have a core position in certain oil companies, and I just basically add or trim. That's kind of the best way to really describe it. When I feel like they are cheap, I buy a lot more, and once they go up, I sell. Always kind of maintaining a core position, because you never know, and especially investing has never been um, more difficult in my mind. I mean, if we investors really got the deal of a lifetime the last 10, 15 years, we were very fortunate that essentially no matter what you bought, it's going to go up. And if you were into dividend stocks, like a lot of personal finance guys are, everyone's into passive income and that. I mean, that's great. You couldn't miss if you bought any of those stocks. Today, the picture's a lot differently. I feel like anyone whose portfolio is dominated by dividend stocks, you could be set up for pretty significant losses, particularly if they're financials and stuff. Particularly if they're Canadian financials. Our housing market here is not doing the greatest. The Bank of Canada raised interest rates last week. The Fed's expected to raise next. This on the face of it, central banks, particularly the Bank of Canada, Federal Reserve, they've come out and said, they're very committed to fighting inflation. Now, whether or not they succeed is it's just a whole other matter. Eventually, I'm guessing they're going to do enough damage to the real economy that unemployment is going to start skyrocketing. We're going to have a whole bunch of business failures. People can't turn over debt, and that's going to be a significant problem. The housing market has cooled dramatically here in Canada. I mean, it looks like it's kind of at a pace now that it's not as dramatic as the spring and summer, which were probably the worst spring and summer in 20 years for sales and for home price declines and whatnot. And I'm guessing like we're going into a naturally slow season. You typically like around the winter, late fall, and the winter is not a real strong time for housing anyway. So basically, there's a huge storm shaping up, I'm guessing. And gold and silver have been hit pretty hard. A few weeks ago, you guys watched my video. I picked up a 10-ounce bar on the big price dip in silver. I'm slowly accumulating. At this point, I'm more interested in gold. Silver premiums are still sky high, and it's very, very difficult to justify paying like those extraordinarily high premiums. Because essentially, like, I'm feeling like you're not gonna get your money back out of it ever. you know, um, Maybe a way to go, and this is just my thought. I don't own any of these stocks or ETFs. There is a Sprott Physical Silver Fund. I think it's PSLV or something like that. They do own physical silver, so you could probably buy shares of that ETF, and as a way to gain exposure to the price potential without holding it physically and pissing away your money on excessive premiums. Now for gold, most gold that I see, the premium is from about 2 to 5%. That's not, huge. Traditionally, I'm thinking gold basically always had almost a 5% premium. Maybe you had deals at spot or whatever, but 5% I can live with. 30, 40% for silver, I can't live with. I mean, it's, it is what it is. Unless silver literally goes to the moon, you're never going to get that out. And it's just kind of, it's tough, depending on what kind of silver you buy, you might be able to sell it back to the dealer and capture a little bit of that premium back. But I mean, let's not kid ourselves. It doesn't make sense to me to buy something where you're almost guaranteed you're going to lose money, or it needs to appreciate it basically needs to double or more for you to do well in that circumstance. So um, yeah, so I mean, if you're just buying a little bit to hold for kind of like hedge, inflation protection, wealth preservation, I mean that's fine, but for that, I'd prefer gold. That's just my piece. That's just my thoughts. I'm just not sold or convinced on silver. I do love silver. There's no question about it. I have a lot of silver. I enjoy, stacking some maples and stuff like that, and I do kind of like the 10-ounce bars. But I'm not kidding myself expecting that, hey, I'm gonna like be able to, recover my investment in any quick amount of time. I'm basically the metals that I hold are just insurance, wealth preservation, and I hold them forever. I'm never planning on parting with them or selling them, which is why I don't kind of go all in on these type of um, investments, I guess. And I don't think a lot of people should, especially if you feel like you may need to. I do not invest a single penny if you feel like or think you may need the money in the next couple years. Um, that's how you get screwed. You buy something and then you're forced into selling it. And typically, when these things happen, you set yourself up for being taken advantage of. And that's same in the stock market too. You buy these stocks, you think it's all great. If you can't live with having them down for a significant period of time, then you really shouldn't be investing. Investing should be always like kind of a long-term thing. And I just see a lot of people speculating right now. Even with all the carnage that's happened in the crypto markets, and the metals and the miners and commodities, and just generally like tech and stuff, there's still people who are doing that. They're hoping for the next big win, and that just hasn't been my experience. I've never bought a stock that's just went to the moon, basically. Typically, my investment journey, and I feel like it's pretty well the same for the vast majority of people. It's literally the slow grind. Some years will be better than others. On average, over a long term, you're probably looking at anywhere 7 to 10%, maybe a bit better depending on what you do. And I mean, it is what it is. Very few people have the skill or the luck, quite frankly, to be able to buy something, for pennies and have the thing go to the moon. Um, and typically, if you're in a situation like that, you lack the conviction to put a significant amount of your own personal wealth into something like that. I mean, it's very difficult to tell someone to go put, $500,000 into a 10 cent, a junior miner. Um, on the off chance that it might be, you might hit a home run. So I mean that kind of tempers investors' kind of returns and all that. Dividends, they do make up. They are an important source of the overall market return. So generally speaking, as a rule of thumb, the vast majority of individual stocks that I own or ETFs are ones that pay a good dividend. And I've found that during times of turbulence, market turmoil, generally speaking, you still get that steady stream of income. On occasion, I have had companies cut their dividend, but not very substantially. It's not like they slashed it from $1 to a penny, that type of thing. It's been, it may have I think the most significant was they cut it in half. And, and that was just one particular position. It wasn't across the board. So the net effect of that was very, very minimal. But anyways, that's why I choose to kind of stick with the steady Eddie dividend stocks, slowly kind of rebuilding as I see some deals arise. Like I said, I picked up some Barrick the other week, and I bought a little bit of Newmont. These are paying decent dividends for around 5%. Um, and that said, I've even bought like Unilever a couple months ago. It's paying, I think, about a 4% or something like that. So, it's not just I'm not just all about the mining stocks and stuff like that. I think commodities are a really good place to be given, um, what it's looking like the next 10 years. But even myself, like I don't have all my money in commodity stocks. I'm not, I want to be diversified. I want to be there to kind of capture any of the upside potential to protect against inflation. Um, but I don't want to be so all in that if we get, a deflationary bust that basically I'm wiped out. So, everybody's position is different. This is just kind of my thoughts based on my overall investing experience, which I guess isn't as distinguished as a lot of these market experts. But I even find, frankly, most of those guys are full of shit themselves. It's all about making the numbers for this quarter. And I would think that would be a really tough industry to kind of make it in. Um, and I guess that's one of the great advantages of being an individual investor. I mean, you are master to no one. You don't have to. If you have high conviction in something, you can pursue, and you can afford to be patient. And a lot of the investing game is just that, just being patient and just doing the kind of counter the herd moves, like paying off your mortgage, getting out of debt and staying out of debt, not taking on margin. Um, you know, those type of things will keep you in your positions, and you won't get shaken out. If you don't have debt, if you have a good cash in the bank to cover your expenses, you're not going to get shaken out of any of the stuff that you're in, and you don't have to worry about ever having to sell anything like physical metals. So that's kind of my 2 cents on that. I am looking to pick up another ounce of gold. I was going to do a fractional gold piece, but again, the premiums on that we're quite a lot more than just the 1 ounce. That's kind of like your standard overall best value when it comes to gold. So that's it for today. I just thought I'd share some thoughts. It's been a while since I put out a video. I've been busy. We just got a new puppy, so that's keeping us busy and very busy. It's almost like having like a new baby again. But anyway, hope you guys are enjoying these videos. Hope you guys are doing well and you're weathering the storm and kind of setting yourself up for success, preparing for what's coming. And every day, kind of getting stronger and more resilient. I think that's something that the society needs at this moment. Reacquaint ourselves with being a bit self-sufficient and, in a good place, generally speaking. Yeah, with that said, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like the video, share it far and wide, subscribe to my channel, and please, I appreciate all your support. Check out my website, My Road to Wealth and Freedom. The link is in the description below. By the way, I get lots of questions. These capsules, I got them from Silver Gold Bull or Amazon. Links are in the description below. I do appreciate all your support. Just note, Silver Gold Bull, they do price match. Which is basically why I shop with them. Anything else do I have to say? I think that's about it. Anyways, guys, hope you guys can take advantage of any sort of recent corrections that are coming up, and don't get shaken out of your positions. Cheers.